What are we doing today, Alanis?
We are working it out.
Dude, I was hoping you'd say that. I didn't plan, I didn't ask you to get ready for that. We didn't plan that. I was stoked that you knew exactly where I was heading with that. That's right, Alanis. We're here to work it out. Yeah. Joining me as always is my co-host Alanis Maximus. Alanis Maximus.
Hello.
And we are here today to just have a conversation. That's what this podcast is about. Conversation. Me and Alanis like conversations. If we didn't, podcast.
I was spamming them when you were trying to introduce me and they just came up. But they're never my dinosaur.
They all came up at once. I was like, whoa! I was like, I'm in an actual Jurassic fucking Park right now, man. So, yeah, we're here today to have our little chat. We like conversations. If we didn't like conversations, being here would be pretty silly because that's what podcasting is. You know what I'm saying?
I think my IBS is broken, by the way. Jesus Christ. It's all happening.
That was crazy because the technical difficulties thing came up, but the dinosaurs did not go away, man. I was like, just like technical difficulties, a velociraptor here, and then a fucking giant walking monster, that Spinosaurus thing there.
But they're gone.
I don't remember the Spinosaurus ever. I'm like, well, what's that dinosaur called again? Because it sucked.
Yeah.
It's the worst fucking dinosaur addition to Jurassic Park, and I don't care what anyone says.
That's what happens when technology fails you. Things like that.
CGI and Alan's computer. So, Alanis, we're here today to talk about a few different topics, and obviously we know what these topics are. So, today we're talking a few different ones, which is involving, if everyone saw the title, Wrestling's Fake. So what? Did you like how I titled it that?
I did.
We're also going to be talking best and worst video game movie adaptions. And we're going to be talking a little bit about past issues that I've had involving my methamphetamine addiction, which I thought would be a little bit of fun because what's not more fun than, looking back at 6 years ago when your life was just in turmoil, you know what I mean? So, Alanis, I thought we'd start off with an easy one this week, and that is wrestling, your topic. Now, tell me this topic, tell me what your idea for the topic is, and tell me why you want us to talk about this.
Wait, before I do it, I just realized something. Next time you say, what are we doing, I can be like, looks like I'm saying it.
Oh, yeah. Hey, now I need one on my side, too. That's bullshit. Because now I'm going to be going...
Where?
It's so weird if my head actually did come into your room, man.
That would be pretty cool.
Oh, dude, it's like this photo. Quickly, I'll show you this. So I took a photo. I don't know how this happened, man. I took 2 photos, of cars. I don't know why. And for some reason, in the photo roll, it looks like these cars morphed together into one car. Back in the front. Hold on, I'll just try and find it quickly. Hold on. It's awesome, man. It's a wicked photo. I was like, wow, that was unintentional, but hilarious. Here we go. Look at this. How good is that? I don't know how that worked, but it worked. And that was just random. That was like literally I took a photo of my camera roll. It was like that.
That's awesome.
So anyway, Alanis, wrestling. Why do you want to do it?
Yes, I think it's no secret, unless you're like, I don't know, maybe in the deep south of America or haven't hit puberty yet, that wrestling is scripted. Other people are like, it's fake, and try to base it on that invalidates it. But there's a few things a lot of people don't know. Like, yes, it's scripted, but isn't every fucking TV show? people doubt, like they call it sports entertainment, and people are like, oh, it's not sport. They're the hardest working athletes probably in any industry almost. Like most sports teams, what do they have? They have 6 months off. Pretty much wrestlers, if they're actively wrestling, have maybe some time off here and there. That's very minimal, or they rest when they're injured. And the other thing, a lot of people think it's like, oh, it's choreographed. They rehearse it. They're doing shit that they could. It pretty much the choreography goes to the line of they'll talk about it and they'll go, okay, you do this, you do that, then we'll do this. It's in no way really rehearsed. The referee has an earpiece and he sits there feeding the wrestlers information, and they kind of like, all right, do your finisher and finish the thing now, the match now, we're winding up. I don't think a lot of people realize the level of kind of talent and skill that goes into that, like their dedication to, I guess, the art form. I couldn't say sport because it's not really sport, and the athletic element. I find it hard to, even if I didn't like the wrestling, to kind of go, oh, it's all rubbish, it's scripted, it's fake. I don't know.
See, but that's one thing I wanted to talk to you about that with it is I think that they're probably even more talented in a way because not just their athleticism, their drive, the rehearsal that it takes, like for choreography and all that, but also the acting that they have to do. Like, not all sports people can act. Not all sports people can even do interviews properly and things like that. You know what I mean? So it's like they're multi-talented in many ways compared to normal sport, where they're just talented in what they do in one section. You know what I mean? You've got to have performance, you've got to have athleticism, you've got to have choreography, you've got to have the ability to do all this while perform. You know what I mean? Like it's, and you've got to kind of you've got to look after yourself, you've got to eat well, you've got to, train a lot, you've got to do gym a lot. Like it's a full-time commitment. And like, I mean, we've seen some of like this generation's biggest action stars coming out of wrestling. Like we're talking about The Rock, we're talking about John Cena. Like these people, maybe John Cena isn't as solidified as someone like The Rock, but like he's still, I think he's shown his chops as an actor in both like very serious sort of tone and very comedic tone, and shown that he can nail both, which is like something that a lot of even comedic professional actors can't do. You know what I mean? So it's pretty crazy to me, like that people don't give it a little bit of credit at least, because look, no one's sitting there going, but no, it is real. Like the fans know it isn't real, and the fans don't watch it because it isn't, like, because it is real. Like they watch it because of the entertainment value that they get from it. I mean, look, people love reality television, you know what I mean? And reality television, I hate to tell most people, is not reality, it's scripted.
I always found that terminology interesting. Reality television. It's like, does this have cuts? Are things scripted? Are things set up? That's not reality.
Not by a long shot. And I'm telling everyone now, Married at First Sight, not reality.
Yeah. Even Big Brother, it's cut, it's edited, it's...
I think that the closest thing you can say to reality television, look, Big Brother, the premise behind it, right? I'm going to look at Big Brother as, I don't think Big Brother's good now. I fucking hate Big Brother. It's outstayed its welcome. It's done. We don't care anymore. It's way past its time. But for a show and reality television at the beginning, Big Brother was like where it began, I feel. Do you feel that's correct?
Definitely.
I feel like it was the first time that we saw something like where we get to see real people living together for 3 months, sort of in a house. Like this is the idea, and that's where all reality television kind of stemmed from, was the Big Brother thing. I'm sure there was things sort of before it, but like Big Brother was the sentimental like sort of like moment that solidified reality television to what it is today. And I think that's the closest thing we've still gotten to actual reality television, because basically you are leaving people in a house for 3 months that can do whatever they want to an extent. Drinking. I mean, think about the first season of Big Brother. Like there was alcohol non-stop. It was just like a party house. Like there wasn't the rules that there are today, and like all that bullshit in Big Brother where it's like they don't have free roam like they kind of did back then. You know what I mean? Like, wasn't there a time where people snuck drugs into the police.
I'm pretty sure.
That's what I mean. You couldn't get away with that now. You know.
No.
So yeah, I mean, I'm not a wrestling fan. Let's just put that out there straight away. I don't watch wrestling. It's just not for me. But like, then again, I don't watch any sport. Like, I'm not a fan of UFC. Like, and look, UFC is like, the way I look at it is the real form of wrestling without the entertainment factor behind it, like the acting, the script, the stories, the whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I look at it as like, UFC is the real thing, and if you don't like wrestling because it's not the real thing, then you're obviously not looking for what wrestling can provide. You're looking for what UFC can provide. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm not into any of that. I was the most I've ever been to a sport was skateboarding, and I mean that's about as real as it can get. You know, like there's really nothing fake about skateboarding. You know what I mean? If you can skate, you're doing rails, you're doing all this shit. Like, I don't know, like, it's just like, that's to me, like, the only sport that ever grabbed my attention, and I really tried my hardest to get good at, you know what I mean? I was skating sometimes 8 to 9 hours a day, you know? But like, when did you first start watching wrestling, and what was like, what's your history with wrestling?
I started it's been very on and off over the years, but I started, would have been the early 90s, like, the heyday of like Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Randy Savage, then I think kind of the next kind of phase was when it was like the late 90s and it was WCW and NWO and all that. Then kind of fell off from there and came back to the WWE in the early 2000s.
So did you was wrestling like, were you into wrestling from wrestling, or did you get into wrestling through video games or something like that?
I got into it through something that the kids would know about today. I didn't work good at all then. Video stores. Like, I discovered it like just going through the aisles of the like, it wasn't even a Blockbuster or anything. It was like a little independent video store. I'm like, wrestling. What's this? And yeah.
Did you see Blockbuster news?
I did not.
Blockbuster Video have caused a stir on the internet by making their site go live again with a message that has like their old logo, and it says, "Please be patient. We are working on rewinding your video." Now, this is going to be something that maybe we could talk about in our next podcast of what I work it out, video stores in the 90s, because I'm all down for it. I'm down for this, bro. Bring it back.
There's nothing like it. Like, it was like an event. Even when like in my like early 20s and shit, man, you'd go out on a Saturday and hire some DVDs and shit and watch them. Like, it was a staple of culture.
Dude, there was nothing cooler than going to the video store. Like, remember like the 5 videos for a week for like $5 or whatever? And like, dude, you know how many times I hired the same movie? Like, I'd go to the video store sometimes for the weekly videos knowing what I wanted to get already. You know what I mean? Like, I'd be like, I'm getting weekly. So what I'm going to get is, some of the staples were fucking Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. I like Honey, I Shrunk the Kid, but look, I don't know why. I saw Honey, I Blew Up the Kid first. And yo, that is shit. That is the shit. Man, that when that kid gets big and he's in Las Vegas and just walking around Las Vegas and like picks up the guitar at the Hard Rock Cafe and shit, man, that is so dope. I also like Heavyweights, the Disney movie Heavyweights. You remember that one, the Fat Camp?
Yeah.
They're on the cover holding the Subway sandwich. That was dope. And there was one other like classic video that I always hired from there, and it was Encino Man.
Ah, yes, Pauly Shore and Brendan Fraser.
Love that movie, man. Squeezing the dose. And then when the dude at the convenience store, I wish I had a glass of water just to go and splash you in the face. So anyway, continue about what
sauce bottle of water. It's great for
I didn't hear what you said, and you just held the sauce bottle up to me, and I was like, is this meant to be like a stick up with tomato sauce or something? So honest, like, yeah, tell me why you wanted to talk about this topic, because I feel like you haven't gotten it off your chest yet, because I feel like you're angry that there's people out there that still try to argue the point about how it's not real.
Yeah, it's like as we said though, it isn't real, but it's like it isn't untalented. I think it's a valid athletic and art form. Like, and people are like, well, they can't act. It's like, That's the point. They're not trying to act well. It's meant to be hammy. Like they're like muscle men in jocks.
I wouldn't
pretending
even
to
say
fight.
that they don't act well though, man, because they do what they're supposed to do for that role. Like, what are you like? They're meant to go out there and be like, "He isn't ready," you know. He's like, what is it? The guy from Spider-Man?
Yes, Randy Savage.
Is that he's like in the like Bonesaw or whatever his name is?
Yeah.
Are you ready? So like they do what they're supposed to do. They can't go out there and be like, yet he left me and just didn't want to even like, dude, you know what I mean? Like it's not a serious thing. They're not going out there and they're not trying to be Tom Cruise. You know what I mean? Like if they
Yeah, I think it's just a lot of people don't realize what goes behind it and think that it's like it's not like a stage show. It's not rehearsed and they don't go exactly what they're doing. There's a lot of chaos theory to it and a lot of shit that can go wrong.
Yeah, and there's a lot of like I'm sure parts that aren't scripted, like where someone will go out to do a part that they think they're supposed to be doing that is scripted, and the people that have made this show are behind it going, okay, so now we're gonna have this guy walk out in the middle of him doing his monologue, you know what I mean, and surprise him, you know, and that guy on the stage will not know that is going to happen, you know what I mean. So that will probably create moments of genuine surprise or genuine unscripted moments, you know what I mean. Am I correct with that? Would that be like
absolutely? And one of the more infamous ones was I think early 2000s, mid 2000s in another wrestling company. You'll know the wrestler Sting, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Sting was fighting Jeff Hardy.
Was he the one that died or was not?
No, he's still alive.
I'm thinking of the music artist. No, he's not even dead.
I don't know. But yeah, Jeff Hardy, before he wrestled, went off and ate a bunch of drugs and came out drugged out. And pretty much it's this massive event that they were going to fight. And Sting pretty much just full on pins him to the ground. First thing that happens and ends the match. And everyone's just like, this is bullshit. And Sting's just like, yeah, it is. It is.
Did you hear about Ronnie Radke?
But yeah.
Wrestling.
Ah!
Pro wrestler.
Ah.
That's what he's going to do apparently.
Oh, wow.
On the
That's
side.
interesting.
Because he's dating a wrestler.
Ah.
One of the female wrestlers. What's her name? Mention some of the girls.
There's a lot now.
Right, have a look.
I'm curious though.
Ronnie Radke girlfriend. Paige WWE.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She's in AEW now under some other name, but I didn't.
Yeah,
know
well,
that.
that's his girlfriend. His girlfriend for years.
Oh wow, there you go.
And he's apparently, I heard that he's going to become a wrestler. My mate messaged me who's into wrestling and said Ronnie Radke is going to do wrestling. And I was like, weird. Can you find anything on that actually? Like, am I telling the truth here or did I imagine this shit?
It would be WWE. It would be through the pretty much the rivals AEW, I imagine.
Yeah, I'm having a look now.
With now.
Yeah, 6th of Feb. Wait, hold on. Soraya has been dating Ronnie. Yep, we know that.
Yes, Paige.
Yep.
And she wants to do an intergender match with him on AEW. So mixed tag, a guy and a guy and a girl and a girl on a team.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've seen the footage ever of when Falling in Reverse played. Okay, so what wrestler? What does this wrestler belong to? Savage the Gentleman.
I'm not sure. I'm guessing maybe AEW.
Okay, well, so I'm guessing it was an AEW tournament then. There's footage of Ronnie Radke's band playing like an event for that wrestling. And I'll show you what happened. It's only like a 30-second clip. There we go. So I'm opening this so we can watch it, but I'm just quickly trying to. Oh my god, dude! In our Loud Media YouTube, if I click a certain video, it'll tell me to ask to verify my age. So I'm gonna go on my YouTube, man. What the fuck? Like, oh no, I'm 13. You know, like, hey, if you need verification, look at the content. Oh, by the way, there's another Hollywood Undead song out, a new one, just then I saw.
Yeah.
So I'm going to show you this footage. I'm running Radkey. My YouTube Premium ran out. Yo, bro, I do not know how anyone out there, I'm sure you're probably one of these people and I don't understand any of you. If you use YouTube quite a lot like me, I'm telling you now, YouTube Premium is the best value for money because I do not know how you motherfuckers sit through ads like you do. It is the worst, man. Like I've had YouTube Premium since 5 years ago. So for my premium to run out and I'm noticing all these ads, bro, it is fucking draining after a while. I'm like, man, that is the best money ever spent. Yeah. Like ever. So hold on. I'm going to bring up this window so you can check this out. You'll probably just be able to tell from the, what do you call it? The fucking, from the setup where if it's an AEW thing, I'm sure it is because I think it's like a lot smaller than it looks like a really small event, you know? So this. What are you talking about? Look at this. Are you fucking joking me? I don't want to sign in with this shit bullshit. 1 second, man. This is fucking nonsense. Yeah, I'm going to send you a link. You watch. Can you share your screen? Does it work like that? This is bullshit. Like, it's even asking. Oh, wait, no, I've got it up here. It's all good. I found it. Don't worry. Fucking stupid thing asking me to verify my age. Come on, man. What is this? Here we go. Yeah, what's this?
It's hard to say. It could even be an independent ring kind of thing.
Yeah, so
a lot in America.
I'm having a look. It says Blackcraft Wrestling.
That'll be one of the independent circuits.
Okay, so look at this. With a microphone stand. So yeah, basically, that was all set up clearly. You know what I mean? But yeah, that'll be interesting. So yeah. I thought with that we'd move on. It's getting dark in my room, but you know what? I don't want the house light on. You know what I mean? Because I like the pink tone, the purple tone with the purple backing. You know what I mean? Instead, if I go like this, it's simply the worst. Okay. All right. So I thought we'd get on to our second topic, and that is video game movie adaptations. Best and worst of. Alanis, what's your history with video game movie adaptations? Maybe what was some of the first that you saw, and what are some that you love and some that you fucking hate?
Most have been pretty bad. Like, it's rare you see a good adaptation. There are some good ones out there. I think my favorite though would have to be, it's not really an adaptation, but more a continuation of the story. But the Final Fantasy VII movie, Advent Children, is just. Is that
the one from the two? No. What's the first Final Fantasy movie?
That's terrible.
The CGI one? Like, really? Dude, I remember when that came out and everyone was like, this movie is going to be fucking awesome, man. Like, it looked really like it was going to be really good. And then it came out to, poor response.
Yeah, it was not good. There was nothing good about that one. Which is another example of sometimes it just doesn't work. I think any of the bad ones is definitely anything that Uwe Boll has directed. He was a guy in the early 2000s, late 90s. He just like, I don't know what he did apart from had a lot of money, so decided to buy the rights of things and make terrible movies. But yeah, there's very few that he made that were even close to good. They were like Sharknado level bad kind of thing.
I'm going to tell you, the first video game movie adaptation that I watched would have had to have been the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, I don't remember why, but when I have a distinct memory of when I was a kid liking it.
I have a soft spot for it still, just because at least it's a mark of its time. Like, there's a reason it was terrible, unlike some other ones.
Hey, yo, Luigi! We need to go fix this plumbing. All right, Mario. I mean, look, I guess you could make an argument that fucking, is that Bob Costas or whatever?
Bob Hoskins.
Bob Costas. Bob Costas. So Bob Hoskins, yeah. Like, I guess you could argue that I guess he's not doing that much of a different bad job to what Chris Pratt's doing now, I guess. I don't know.
Mushroom Kingdom, here we come.
So, yeah, so, I mean, you said something about the Street Fighter ones. What's those about? I have not seen those. I know we have to do those eventually. Are they any good? Are they?
It depends how you feel about Van Damme.
I have a soft spot for Jean-Claude Van Damme, and it's not because I like any of his movies. It's not because I really know much about him. I actually haven't seen shit with him in it. So I only like it because we used to use his name when we were like, maybe this may kind of lead into our next conversation later, but when we were getting fucked up, whenever something cool happened, we'd always go, "Oh, Jean-Claude Van Damme." So I have a soft spot for him there. I mean, is there a Street Fighter person named Talia? Who's the chick with like the Russian cap thing or whatever?
Oh,
kind of looks like a Navy chick, I guess. I don't fucking know.
There's Cammy,
Mm-hmm.
the army chick.
Yeah, I was thinking of her. Yeah, with the camouflage plants and shit. Yeah.
Yeah,
man. Like, I have a distinct memory of her looking like shit in that movie. I don't remember, but
it was Kylie Minogue played her.
Don't care. Kylie Minogue, man. I'm from Australia. I'll always be from Australia. I love Australia. That's funny coming from someone who lives in Britain all the time. Whatever. Our band actually did a Kylie Minogue cover.
Ah, really?
Yeah, haven't you heard it?
I have not.
Man, what a trip that you haven't heard that, dude. It was like a demo we released for the last band we made, I Confess. So, you know what? I'm going to plug it. Fuck it. I'm plugging it right now. Everyone go check this out. It was like a cover, and it was a demo we did. So we did that. Everyone go check it out. Yeah. I mean, and this kind of leads into where I wanted to go with this topic. It's a smaller sort of topic before we get into our last main topic for this episode. And that is, we're going to see the Super Mario Brothers movie next Wednesday, which is a week away from today. And we're seeing it in 3D, 4DX, motherfucker.
Yes.
I'm pumped. Yeah, look, I know you have your concerns about the Chris Pratt, the Mushroom Kingdom, here we come. I know you got a problem with that. And look, I'm not saying he's doing the best job, but I'm also not offended by it. Like, really, like, what are they going to do? Create a Mario that just goes, woo, mamma mia. Like, there is no, you can't. Like, it's not a Minions. Like, we can't have them just speak jabble. You know what I mean? Like, there needs to be some sort of level to the character there. You know what I mean? And if it's just like everyone else talking and then Mario going, let's go. You know, like,
I can't say I would hate that.
oh, come on, man. What are we going to do, Mario? Luigi, you got any ideas? Toad, what do you think we should do? What I think we should do is we should go do this and then do this. Aaron, everyone with me? Let's go! See, man, I could write a fucking Mario movie right there.
Exactly. You can voice it as well.
Exactly. Let's go! Okay, so, yeah, we're going to see that next Wednesday. So our review is going to be out for it next Wednesday. And hopefully, I'm hoping, we can go early and get it out early. But if not, we've got to work around Alanis' schedule, you know? He's a busy beaver.
Damn.
Whereas I am not. No, I'm pretty busy. Actually, dude, you know how much fucking work the YouTube, the Patreon, the band is? And especially when I am right now managing the band, basically. Like, I've got 2 guitarists, like, getting them auditioned. I had to, like, get on them, to them, call them, do all that shit. And then I'm also storyboarding our music video, getting the shot list prepared because I'm directing it. I wrote the music video, I'm directing it. I've got my crew that I'm just like shooting it with like proper cameras. Like it's all proper, but like I'm doing all the work, you know? So it's like I'm so fucking busy. And it's just like, my downtime is like Hogwarts Legacy still. And everyone's like, you still haven't finished it. I'm like, no, I fucking haven't. You know what I mean? Like, but also I'm trying to take my sweet time with that game because that game is fucking magical, man. And like every time I'm playing it, I'm just like, okay, so this is how much I like it, yeah? I'll just throw it on because I'm like, I've got nothing to do. So I'll chuck it on. And I'll be like, I'll just do a couple of things. And 3 hours later, I'm still playing. You know what I mean? And it's like, that is what a video game should do to me, you know? And it shouldn't be me going, I'm over this, so I'm going to get off for a bit. You know what I mean? Like, I remember back in the day, I remember when Red Dead Redemption came out the first time, the first one in like, was it 2011?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, around then.
Red Dead.
Maybe 2009.
I'm going to look. Came out 2010.
Ah.
May 2010. I was working that day. And I remember I went down to Knox to go get my copy of the game, take it home, and then I had to go to work, so I didn't get to play it. But I went down to get it so I could play it when I got home because I was working the midnight shift. So if I finish at midnight, I can't go get the game, can I? You know what I mean? So I went and got the game, took it home, and it took like every ounce of my fucking being to not call in sick. You know what I mean? Like, and when I got home, I played the shit out of that game all night. And then I fucking played it nonstop till it was done. And within 3 days, I'd fucking completely fucking finished that game. Like probably 100% of it, like platinum. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like gotten all the achievements, whatever you want to say. I couldn't get over it. And my stepbrother was living with me at the time, Kalen, and he was playing it too. He got it on the same day, everything. And he's in his room playing it and shit because he's around my age. And I'd walk into him, I'd be like, how far are you yet? And he'd be like, oh man, I'm just still at this part. I'm like, what? I'm like, I really finished it, man. You know what I mean? Like, so Hogwarts Legacy, man, I don't want to do that because I don't know how long it's going to be till another game comes out that I'm just like this drawn into. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm taking my time. I'm doing all the side shit. I'm collecting all the beasts and whatever. You know what I mean? Just having a good old time. So let's get into our last topic. Yeah?
Yes.
We didn't really discuss a lot of video game movies, but I just feel like because we're doing video game movie reviews for Ranked and Reviewed, I mean, if you want to hear a lot of our thoughts on video game movies as well, go check out our reviews on them because there's quite a lot there. There's Uncharted, Tomb Raider, 2 Tomb Raiders, first one, and 2018. What else have we done? Mario Brothers, Sonic the Hedgehog 1, Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's fucking Creed. Put a board in my fucking head right now. Bang, bang, click, click, bang, bang, reload, bang, bang.
I can't actually remember much of that movie. Like, I've repressed that memory.
Dude, I can't remember much of it. I've seen it twice. Not all the way through both times. I refuse. I can't remember anything of it. All I can remember is that white because the movie's so white.
Yeah.
Everything's absurdo white. You know what I mean? All right, let's get into our final topic for Work It Out this week. And that is my methamphetamine addiction that I once had. And I thought we could dig into some of the bad stories, some of the good stories, just some of the fun stories, and some of the really not fun stories that probably still are fun now to listen to if you want a part of it. You know what I mean? So, now, first off, I want to put a disclaimer here. I'm not going to say anyone's names except for my own. So,
And
I will,
Floyd's.
that's right. I'll use Floyd. I'll use Floyd as the name for every person that I talk about. So it'll just be like Floyd 1 and Floyd 2 or whatever, you know what I mean? So, I mean, first off, I didn't get into hard drugs till I was like 18. I smoked a lot of weed, you know, when I was 15, 16. Look, I smoked I mean, I'm sure everyone knows that everyone smokes weed, you know what I mean? Alanis, you've tried it before once or twice. When was the first time you tried it?
Not till I was about 18, 19.
Yeah, so I smoked weed in grade 5.
Yeah.
First time, joint with my mate Floyd on an A-frame at Regency Park Primary School. I actually went to Regency Park Primary School, and we were hanging out one day after school, and we went to my mate's house, and he's like, he was older than us, and he was like, "You want a joint?" And we were like, "Yeah, all right." We took it and smoked it at the park and walked home giggling. It was a good time. And I smoked a lot ever since. Like, you know, actually I went through a stage of like being like completely a straight edge loser, but I didn't call myself straight edge, yeah, because like at the time my girlfriend started smoking cigarettes. I loved this girl to death when I was like young. She was like my first girlfriend. I don't even remember Haley. I'm going to mention her name because I'm not saying anything negative about it. I'm just saying, you know, my girlfriend, you remember my girlfriend Haley back in the day?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. She smoked a few cigarettes and I got mad at her. So I was like, put that cigarette out. You know, I was a little loser, you know. But then I smoked a bit of weed and then I was out at Bang nightclub. Not for my birthday, I'd already turned 18, obviously. So this was like just after I turned 18. Even though I was going clubbing before I was 18. My mate would just go in to Next and I'd wait outside near Brown Alley or whatever. And then they'd send someone out with a pass and then they'd pass their ID back to me and I'd walk in using their same ID. And it was fucking hilarious because I looked nothing like this person. You know what I mean? So yeah, like I went to Bang nightclub for my friend's birthday and there was everyone there. I was dating this person at the time. Floydette was her name. And we were in the beer garden and they were doing Lines of Speed. And I was like, oh man, I'm not down for this. And then I started drinking. I had a couple of drinks and got pretty drunk. And then I was out in beer garden. There was this friend of mine, Floydette too. And she was like, I got this speed and I've got one line left. I don't want it. I'm fucking really high. Does anyone want it? And I was like, I'll have it. And railed it. And then had the best night of my entire life. I can't tell you how much of a good night I had. I was like talking to everybody. I was like, what's your name? How you going? You having a good night? Blah, 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 blah. Just like, and then I got home and just fucking like pretty much like put a hole in my ground from like pacing back and forth. You know what I mean? Like in cartoons, they leave a hole or whatever after pacing. And then fucking I got into speed and ecstasy and all those things, and it was a good time. You know, I loved my speed and ecstasy. I had great times. Like on my birthdays at my mum's house. Like, dude, I'm not worried to talk about any of this because I don't have a job that I have to lay on the line for this. And you know what else? I'm also not an addict anymore, so I can talk about it with like a limelight and a bit of a look on it and just know from my experience, you know. And also, my mum, everyone knows that I was doing all this already. I was doing it in her house. Mum caught us so many times with like fucking notes up our nose and shit, you know what I mean? So like, you know, I started like selling a lot of speed and like picking up half bags and shit. It was a good time, man, because I would always have like just shit loads, like sandwich bags full of it. And I'd be like, let's get high, and put on that song from Dr. Dre that's like, let's get high. And all my ladies, let's get high. And yeah, fucking one night we moved on to smoking speed because there was like two versions of speed. I don't know if anyone knows this. There's like the non-smokable, which is cut with like whatever, like glucose and shit. You can't smoke glucose; it burns black, you know. And then there's a speed that's cut with something that it literally burns clear, and you can just pack the pipe full and smoke it and get fucked up that way. And then someone came over with some ice and didn't tell me, but put it in a pipe and was smoking it with another ex of mine at the time, Floyd at 3. And I heard a whisper from behind me going, pass it to Tom and see what he says. And when she did that, I knew straight away what was going on. I was like, they put ice in it, because what else would it be? You know what I mean? And then they passed it to me. But at that point, I was really drugged out that night anyway. And I was like, fuck it, whatever. And I started smoking it. And they're like, what do you reckon, Tom? Didn't you notice anything different? And I'm just like, yeah, it's ice. Oh, how'd you know? I'm like, I heard you talking about it. You know what I mean? And then from then on, it became a really big thing. Like, I was in a band at the time, I Confess, which is the band you just heard the demo of. And we did really well when we were doing really well. Blunt Magazine and all this shit. And then it became a thing that I was doing like in the car before sound setups and, you know, sound check it shows. And I'd be sitting in there just packing the pipe, smoking, packing the pipe.
Blowing the last whistle.
Just non-stop, man. Just like all for hours in the car, listening to music on my phone, smoking. You know what I mean? And then they'd be like, 10 minutes to sound check. I'd be like, yeah, I'll be there in 5. You know what I mean? And then I'd finish sound check and go back out to my car and sit in my car just getting high. And like, I'd see everyone rocking up to the show, like the crowd and people walking in and getting ready. And they'd be like, 5 minutes till we're going to go on stage. I'm like, all right. And walk on stage, play fucking awesome because I'm just off my head. And then finish and go back to smoking again all night, you know? And it just never ended, bro. And then it started becoming such a problem that like people would call me to go out for the night to the city, and I go out to the city and like get to Crown and sit in the car park of Crown, smoking in the car park, underground car park in my car. And they'd be like, you coming in? I'd be like, yeah, I'll be there soon. And it'd be like 2 hours later and I still wouldn't be inside. You know what I mean? Getting high. And then I'd go in for half an hour and I'd be like, all right, I'm going back out to the car to get high again. You know what I mean? I mean, I've got a great photo. I'm going to bring it up in a minute while we're talking because, you know, I'm trying not to make this go for too long. But I'm going to bring up a photo. It's one of my favorite photos ever of me just because of how cooked I look in it. It's my favorite. It's the only photo I can find in the world still that is actually still around of me really fucking off my guts. I'm going to bring it up as an overlay so we can just chuck it over for a second. It's a fucking awesome photo, bro. Like I posted it like a couple of times on Facebook and I always put the caption as kids don't do drugs because I looked that fucking fried in this thing. But I was having the best time. I just want everyone to know that I was having the best time, you know? Because one thing about meth is it's an asshole. It's a cunt. I was hooked on this shit. Like it destroyed me. It ruined my life, this shit, man. Like it ruined my health. It ruined my mental health. It ruined my sense of what was right and what was wrong. Like don't trust me with money. That was my thing. While I was on ice, do not trust me with money. Don't. And another thing, do not leave your ice at my house. Don't ever do that. That's what happened. Like back then, like now, hey, leave it if you want. I probably wouldn't be hanging out with you if you're doing it. But if you do and you leave it here, I'm not going to touch it. But back then, I tell you what, man, there was one time that a friend came over, Floyd, number 7, you know, and I nearly let his name slip, so I'll probably have to blur that little bit out. You noticed that, yeah?
Yeah.
You know exactly who I'm about to talk about. He was over and he came over during work, during the middle of the day, and he's like, man, it's lunch break, I could go a puff. And I'm like, yeah, me too. And we tried to get some for this hour and shit, like that he had lunch off, and he's like, fuck, man, I gotta get going. And then suddenly the phone rang, and this chick was on the phone, and she's like, Floyd at 7. And I'm like, hello, Floyd at 7, how are you? And she's like, not bad, Tom, how are you? Just wanted to know if there was something that I left there still under your garbage bin outside. And I'm like, what? And she's like, just something. Can you go check if it's there? I'm like, how long ago were you here? And she's like 3 days. I'm like, okay. And I went and checked and I lifted up the bin and there was a half a gram of ice under there. And it was like, that's like fucking $300, $250 worth. And me and that person that was over at the time could only afford like a point. You know what I mean? $50 worth, like nothing. So when I saw that, I was like, no, I can't see it. It's not there at all anymore. You know what I mean? And dude, like I hung up the phone. I just went, yoing to Floyd number 7 that was over, and he was like, what the fuck? And we just continued to get fucked up. Now I'm going to bring up this overlay quickly. Wow, man. Look at those. Dude, I know that you can't really see properly, but my eyes right there is no color. It is just seething black. Yeah. Like my pupils were completely just dinner plated. So one of my favorite photos ever.
Yeah, that's near next, isn't it?
Dude, that's at the front of Centerfold, my favorite strip club in the world.
Ah.
On my birthday. Now, I remember exactly how I felt when I stepped out of that nightclub that night and this photo was taken, yeah? I was tired and I was yawning and I was like, I'm ready to go in the nightclub. And I don't know why. Dude, I'd smoked so much ice. I had so many pills, everything under the sun. I was completely high. I was not tired, but I don't know why I'd convinced myself I was tired. And I don't know if you know about this thing when you take drugs of a certain kind that when you change environments, you feel completely different all of a sudden, you know what I mean? Like from inside to outside or whatever, you know? And I remember stepping from inside the club feeling completely over it to outside and everything being so vibrant and just this sweat rushing down my body suddenly and my eyes opening up and me going, holy fuck, am I off my guts right now? You know what I mean? And I was like, man, and then when the photo got taken, the reason I looked so fucked up in that photo when I was not ready. Literally, I came out like, photo, and turned me around. I'm like, huh? With my arm around somebody. I'm like, huh? And they took a photo. I'm like, completely out of it. You know what I mean? So, like, the point to this that I wanted to talk about with this is that I learned many things from being an ice addict. And that is friends, you lose it very quickly. You burn bridges very easily. You make a lot of mistakes. And it just isn't worth it, you know. Like I was ruining my life. I was making my friends' lives miserable. And like to the people that like do happen to listen to this and that were my friends at that time, like just know I do know that I did wrong. That includes I know that you know what I did to like people in the band and stuff that I was with. That I was wrong. You know they were right, and they have every reason to not speak to me these days. You know what I mean? But like. I have learned from those lessons that as much as ice is a great time, and I'm going to say that again, it is a great time. It's not worth it. It's completely not worth it because I lost so many people, man, and I burnt so many bridges and I fucking didn't know what I was doing and I was a cunt, man. Like I was so fucking self-absorbed, man. Like, as I said to you, man, like one day it hit me, like someone said to me, when someone tells you about their problems, you can't always suddenly start talking about your problems. You know, like, you can't be like, if someone's like, oh, this is upsetting me or this is annoying me, you can't be like, oh, I know what it's like, man, because this is what happens to me. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be like that. And I never even thought that way. You know what I mean? I just thought that's how I'm going to talk. You know, like I just said that shit. And now I've learned that I was completely in the wrong in those situations. I should have been there for people. I should have listened more. You know, it's a drug that takes everything away from you, no matter what it is. It takes away your, you know, you're in it. Like any good part of you, it takes it away. And I wouldn't recommend it to anybody, no matter how much it is, how good it is, and how bad it is, how much fun it is. You know what I mean? Especially if you've got an addictive personality, it's just something you need to stay away from. I'm not saying you shouldn't do drugs. You should do other drugs instead. I'm just saying that this specific drug isn't even worth it. Like for the fun that it does give you, it just isn't worth it. Especially when it starts becoming like your tolerance is this fucking high, and you need more and more and more and more and more, and it just becomes a money sink. And then you start living like a trash bag, and there's rats in your house, which I had lots of. But man, the people I met, some of them were cooked. You know what I mean? Just completely cooked. Like I remember going to pick up one night off this chick, and we never met her before, and we're like, are we at the right place? And suddenly we're sitting in the car out the front. We heard this whoa go past us, and I was like, what the fuck was that? I look, there's this chick on a fucking motorized go-kart went past us like whoa, going like that. Woo! And then, I'm like, I think we're at the right place. You know what I mean? And then we went there and she proceeded to be like, oh, if you want a line or something, you can. I think there's some crumbs of speed in the fucking cracks at the pool table. Like we're gonna dig it out of the pool table and fucking rake lines. And then she got angry at her partner and threw a pool triangle at his head, and he's kind of had a fucking bleeding neck head. We met people that had like kids. Like we walk in, there were 7 kids drawing on the walls. They had a pet snake, pet spider, pet. We went past their house and they go, "Look, Tom, crocodile," and they open the lid of their bin and there's an alligator in their fucking bin, man. A real alligator.
What the fuck?
And I was like, oh, crocodile. It was one of them. And I was like, where did this? And they go, it was in our pool. I'm like, where'd they get this crocodile from in Baronia? Like, dude, they were like, if you, just letting you know, the tarantula that we have has gone missing. So just be careful if it's on the ground, if you step on it. And then another thing, they're like, the snake's gone missing. I'm like, what do you mean the snake's gone missing? They're like, it's just probably sleeping in the air vents. I'm like, bro, this place is this is nightmares. I would not be able to sleep in that house. I'd be like, the whole night, I'd be like, spot, tarantula, spot, alligator. You know what I mean? These are the same people you walked in and the TV was on top of their refrigerator. They didn't even have a TV stand. Like, I met some cooked units, yeah? Like, people that just, like, you walk in and their mum was like, oh, Tom, you're here. I'm like, yeah, no. She's like, I heard you do piercings. I'm like, yeah. She goes, can you pierce my vagina? And I went, oh, I don't really do genital piercings. And even after saying that, she continued to pull her pants and underwear down and show me her clit and say, see, I just want to get a little bit there. And I was like, I know what it looks like. I know exactly what you want it to be. It's like, I know what a clitoris looks like. You did not have to proceed to show me this. And then the next time I went there, she forgot she had said it, and she did it again.
No.
So I went there again because I was going to pick up drugs, and I walked in. She goes, Tom, you're here. I want to get my vagina piece. You know, just here, and pulls her pants down again and shows me again, man. So what I'm saying is, if you don't want to live that life, stay away from ice, because you know what? Ice invites nothing but people that are crumbs, violence, arrests, criminal record. That's what ice brings you. I did not have a criminal record until I got on ice, and then I got arrested at a show with a taser. We just played a Halloween show, October 31st, 2014. Never forget it, the date. And I got off stage and I was standing outside having a cigarette and we were talking to people. I'm like, hey, you guys ever seen taser before? I went zzz, zzz, and got tackled from behind, bro, by the police.
So they were actually just like coincidentally there.
They were behind me, bro. And I was so high off my guts on ice and shit. Just gotten off stage. I was like, you guys seen a taser before? Was that dumbass idiot fuckwit Tom? Like, that was just such a bad look, you know? And it's just like, fucking, you don't want that, you know? So, I mean, it was fucked. There's many more stories I could go into. Maybe we could do a part 2, you know, because I've got some funny ass stories, you know, like us making a 14-track rap album for 6 months straight, cooked off our heads on ecstasy, that we just like put so much effort into it. And when you listen to the songs now, they are trash and they are so funny, bro. Like, you know, they're just the most offensive songs you could possibly write ever, you know, like just completely like sluts and whores and fucking fisting women and like, dude, it's disgusting, you know. It's the most obscene album I reckon ever made in the universe. You know what I mean? Because why not? So we can, maybe there's a part 2, you know, that into this conversation, you know. So maybe, you know, maybe in a couple of episodes we'll do part 2, you know, stories, because there are a lot of stories, man. I got some cooked stories of like me and my friends, like 14 of us, just sitting around getting completely cooked. I'll tell one more quickly one. We sit around for 8 hours straight, passing the glass pipe around, literally like it was bong, like it was just like your turn, your turn, your turn, your turn, your turn, like just around the circle for 8 hours straight. And we had like a quarter, so 7 grams, to go through, you know what I mean? And this was like all profit, so we could just keep using. And then next thing I got covered, like, I don't know, on meth pipes, they get black from like you burning them, and you got to clean them. And next thing I was like covered in all this charcoal, like all over my face and hands. And my friends are like to me, dude, you're covered in shit. Go have a shower. So I go, okay, cool. So I went and had a shower, and I'm like fucking fried. And I get back out of the shower, and my friend goes to me, I thought you were going to have a shower. I go, I didn't. I go, it's still all over your face. So from then on, they just called me the Ash Man. And one other quick one, you know what we called having a crack pipe every now and then? You know how everyone's like, you want to go have a burn?
Yeah.
We call it a Monty. Monty burns. Or we always make up songs like, puff, puff, puffing on heaven's door. So yeah, I got a good banger, a bunch of stories. So maybe we'll go into that with part 2. What would you think about that conversation, Alanis?
I would enjoy it.
Did you have anything to say about before we head up about the whole last thing, or not yourself, but anything about anything I said?
Not really. I just enjoyed listening to your stories, to be honest.
There's way more. There's way better ones. Like, dude, I've got some killer ones, but they're like, that's what I mean. I could do 3 hours stand up, bro, on this shit. Like, just that family alone down there that have had the crocodile and all this other shit. Like, I could do an hour on them. Like, she slept with this dude who has a twin brother, and then that guy went away, and the twin brother slept with her, and she got pregnant and had a baby, and she didn't tell the other twin baby that it wasn't a guy, that it wasn't his baby. So the twin brother knew that it was his baby and just was like, yeah, Roy, it's your fucking baby now. But and just was like, yeah, she's pregnant. Congratulations, man. I heard so many good stories, like inbred shit. So anyway, Alanis, I think that was a good work it out. What about you?
I agree. It was good. I enjoyed it.
It was a good time. So everyone, this is going to go out to Patreon 4 weeks before everyone else. Next week, you get another episode of Work It Out. Patreon, you'll get that episode. YouTube, normal YouTube, you'll get the second episode. So when you get this episode, the month after you get this episode, you'll get the second episode that comes out next week for Patreon viewers. So if you come join our Patreon, you get good fucking access. Like, man, 4 weeks in advance, every episode. Like, actually way more if you think about it. You know what I mean? Like, by the time we recorded those 4, it's going to be way in advance, you know? So, yeah. How are you feeling about everything with the Patreon? Good?
I am feeling good. It's, yeah. I am hopeful.
See, I set it up just out of a fucking boredness, and then I was like, are we really going to do this? You know what I mean? Like, are we really going to actually ask people for money and expect people to pay for the bullshit we put up? But we did it, so help us if you want, you know. If not, whatever. Stick to being free, you fucking cheapos. We love you all, no matter what support you show us, whether it's free, bronze, silver, gold. We appreciate it.
Whether OBS is broken and keeps dinosaurs everywhere.
Yeah. And now
it works!
It's probably because you just need to let it warm up a little bit, man. It's like foreplay.
Yeah.
Hey, you're frozen. Oh, there we go. Now you're not. Oh. He disappeared. Not only is he frozen, he's disappeared. And he's not coming back. Ever. What the fuck? That was so delayed. I think your computer needs a bit of a clean, man.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I just used 2 sex terms just then. Like, I was like, just need a little bit of warming up. And I was about to go, just like a cough, man. And then I was like, it looks like it needs a little bit of a clean, man. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us on Work It Out. Next week, we have our Mario Brothers review going up. We have everything going up. And for people to get this on YouTube, a month ago, we had our Mario Brothers review come up. And thank you. I am your host, as always, Tomye West. And joining me, as always, has been my co-host, Alanis Maximus.
Farewell.
And we'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.